As a builder, there is one question that you must ask yourself before you start building any solution, enterprise, organization, institution, or community. And that question is, how can I build something that serves everyone, is competitive, but at the same time is protected, secure, and safe? The reason why you must ask yourself this question before building any solution, service, or product is because the playing ground is no longer safe. The moment anything you are building or have built hits the internet, it is exposed to bad actors, people who might want to exploit for whatsoever reason, attack, sabotage, whether financial or criminal related reasons. And so it is not enough for you to understand the tools, understand the platforms you can use to scale your business. Digital literacy is no longer complete when all you know to do is to leverage emerging technologies to enhance your business, the products, the services you offer, the solutions you prefer. Digital literacy now includes security. Security is not for your IT department. It is not for one person. It is not for a cybersecurity expert. Security is for everyone in your organization or anyone that will be in your organization in the future, because you are the critical infrastructure, the most critical infrastructure in your organization. Every human being is. And there are four major forces I want you to know by hand. I want you to understand on both sides, because these four major sources are like two-edged swords. The first is artificial intelligence. One can say that it is man's greatest achievement, but at the same time, it is also man's most dangerous achievement. Because in a good actor's hand, artificial intelligence can amplify your work, equip you to do better, automate workflows, give you an understanding to data points, millions of data points. But it is also being used by bad actors in several terrible ways. AI-powered phishing emails, deepfakes, AI-powered malware. What would have taken a criminal hacker a week to do can now take just minutes because of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a force amplifier. It can amplify your productivity or amplify your vulnerability. So you have to understand the field of artificial intelligence as a double-edged sword. As you get excited about what it's doing in your business, how it's helping you solve problems, how you're now beginning to rely on the different aspects of artificial intelligence, you must also be knowledgeable about the surface areas that bad actors might be seeking to exploit. The next force I want you to familiarize yourself with as a builder is quantum computing. Now, quantum computing has been around. The idea of it, there's been a lot of advancement presently. In fact, Google and IBM are projecting that in less than 5 years, we're going to make a major breakthrough in terms of quantum compute hardware. And that's a very good thing, because there are discoveries, there are things that are basically impossible for man to compute presently. We don't have the ability to do so. And they are necessary for human development. They are necessary for breakthroughs with finding cures for certain diseases, breakthroughs in biology, and etc. So it's actually a good thing. But it can be a bad thing because the major security your banking app, your business communication, your data has right now is encryption. And the reason why it is so is that the classical computers we have access to cannot break encryption. But these quantum computers, it is projected that in less than 5 years, they will be able to crack RSA 2048 keys that is presently protecting $4 trillion of e-commerce. And it's coming. We are getting there closer and closer. And so as regards quantum computing, you must understand it as a technology that would amplify your business, that would make things easier and better. But also, you must understand how it can be used against what you are building right now or you've built. Because bad actors are presently anticipating quantum compute advancement. And what they are doing is harvesting data they cannot decrypt now to decrypt later. And so it's actually that bad. The next force I want you to understand deeply is Internet of Things. Very wonderful field of technology. It has allowed us to connect our CCTV cameras, printers, electronic devices in your home, in your office. Over 20 billion devices were connected in 2025. And by 2030, we're expected to see that climb to 39 billion. But you see, those are $39 billion. Most of them not secure, not protected. So if a hacker, a bad actor, could compromise your thermostat in the office, they could gain access to your business network core and steal your data or do whatever they want to do. As a business owner, as someone building solutions that would be out there, that might be in your workplace, in the cloud, wherever it will be, understand how to leverage Internet of Things in a safe way, such that electronic devices that have little or no security are not on the same network with your business core. So you understand the limitations of Internet of Things. It will save you the cost of losing what you are building or what you've built. The last force I want you to study about, expand your knowledge on, is cloud computing. Cloud computing has been a major blessing to small businesses. Cloud computing has given small businesses the access to high enterprise infrastructure. But the cloud is someone else's computer. And so when compromised, it leads to so many bad things for these individual businesses. In fact, report shows that 43% of the 2,200 daily global cyber attacks that happen with small businesses. Every day, 2,200 attacks, automated attacks, leveraging all kinds of technologies. So as a small business owner or a big business owner, using cloud infrastructure is wonderful. It's good. It helps you to scale globally. But you must understand the guardrails you must set with your data. For example, leveraging federated data architecture, not storing all of your data on the same cloud provider, so that if one cloud provider is hacked, the data they have access to is useless to them. These four forces are going to be very, very important to what you are building or what you've built. So as a builder, I want you to dive deep. The next thing I want you to really embrace, study, understand, is a framework called Zero Trust. It is the modern benchmark for cybersecurity right now. It means never trust, always verify. You see, before, the way things were secured was that a wall will be built around the system. But that's no longer safe enough. It's no longer safe enough. So in your organization, whether you're the CEO, even if you're HR, even if you're not in the IT department, you have to understand Zero Trust framework, because security is not for the IT department. Remember, I said that it's for everyone. Understand what it means to verify everyone. You see, when you understand this, it becomes a philosophy that guides how you hire, who you partner with, what you incorporate into your organization. When you want to release a product or service, you start thinking about how that can be exploited. These things are very, very important, because in as much as I will continue to encourage you to leverage emerging technologies, to scale the solutions you are building in agriculture, in energy, in logistics, in healthcare, we have to also build in such a way that by design from the start, it is secure and it is safe. Because it can be a very bad situation where you bring an AI-assisted platform that helps store electronic health data in rural areas for hospitals and for patients. And then it grows and grows and grows. And then one day, your platform is hacked. Patient data is exposed. But when you do not store the data of those patients in the same place, you use the federated data architecture. When you continue to evolve with encryption, such that data that comes in is encrypted, data in motion is encrypted, data that is stored is encrypted, data that is being transmitted is encrypted, then you are not just thinking about solving a problem, but you are thinking about protecting the system of the solution you have now created. These areas they're not just critical areas for businesses to flourish, leveraging technology. They are our civic responsibility that irrespective of whatever happens in the world, critical areas like agriculture, like energy, like healthcare cannot be exploited by state-sponsored bad actors. Because it's happening already. Across the world, attacks on energy infrastructure cost billions of dollars. Farms are now having sensors, Internet of Things. So you see where it's going to. Things that were offline, that were off the grid, are now coming online. So the surface area for attacks for bad actors is increasing. So as you think about that next idea for energy that would connect energy to the internet or whatever framework you're going to use, technologically speaking, think about how safe it must be. So that the moment those bad actors come for you, they'll find out that you were ready even before it's their building. Thank you.